Secondly, there's another question that they ask you: your strengths and your weaknesses. Well, a lot of times, or most times, we know what our strengths are. Sometimes we may not, so we may need to take an inventory of what our strengths are. But when we begin to talk about our weaknesses, when we begin to talk about those things that are not so great about us, then that's where the opportunity for a pitfall comes in. However, you can use that opportunity to talk about your weaknesses as a positive. You don't ever really want to say anything negative about yourself when it comes to your job interview. You want to say things that may initially sound like they're a weakness, but could be potentially beneficial to the interviewee or the company that you're interviewing with. For instance, let's say that you work in the mental health field with children or adults, and they say, what's one of your weaknesses? How about this one? How about you say something to the effect of, well, I really care about my clients or my students or something to that effect. And they're going to probably say that's a little fluff. However, follow that up by saying, and so a lot of times that I want their success for them a lot of times more than they may want it for themselves. Now, that sounds a little bit better because that tells them that you're really vested, you're really interested in your clients. So you turn that weakness into a positive that will be beneficial to your potential employer. Well, let's go on to say maybe it's not the mental health field. Let's say it's something more general, such as they're asking you about your weaknesses and you're applying for a position in a business organization. And so they say, well, tell us what's one of your weaknesses. Maybe you respond and say, well, I think one of my weaknesses is that I'm very conscientious about my work. Of course, that may sound like fluff to them. Well, you follow that up by saying something to the effect of, so what that means is that I may oftentimes or sometimes spend a little bit more time on my projects than would be optimal, because I really want to make sure I put out the very best product. So, in essence, you turned what could have been a weakness for you into a positive for the organization, because they'll see that as an opportunity to hire someone who's going to make sure that the work is done and that it's done very, very well.